Good morning. It's been a little while since I've shown you anything on here. So here's the project I'm doing right now. I'm making a couple of baby quilts. I'm using the BaaBaa sheep pattern, and I've reduced it down to a little 10-inch block instead of I believe it's a 14 that comes with the pattern. I'm using the mock buttonhole stitch and just showing you how quick these go together. I have my machine set so that the needle stops in the down position each time, and that makes it much easier for me to pivot. I used Heat and Bomb Light, which is my favorite fusible. It washes up nice and soft, but it's firm enough while I'm stitching. Stop and pivot. That's our favorite game, right? Stop and pivot. Anytime your fabric starts to feel bunched up or tight, or you have to make that curve just a little bit more, stop your machine, pivot with your needle down, and keep going, and it will stay nice and flat. My patterns, whoop, there's my alarm. My patterns tend to have nice, easy curves. I don't like sharp angles or tight curves because I don't like to sew them. And if I don't like to sew them, I'm sure you don't like to sew them. I'm just basically letting the machine feed itself, not pushing, not pulling, giving a little bit of support to have it hug the curve. And just keeping my needle right on the edge of the fabric. You'll notice I'm using an open-toed foot, and I'm keeping my fingers well away from that. I've learned that lesson. Now this particular stitch that I'm using does a double stitch, so I don't backstitch to start or stop with my applique because of the stitch that I'm using. If you're using a straight stitch or a buttonhole stitch that's just a single stitch in and out, then you want to anchor your thread before you switch to another area. up and move it over, and this is just because of the stitch that I'm using. See, it goes back and forth a couple of times. If I wasn't using this stitch, I would anchor my stitching better so that it wouldn't come undone. Because my quilts get washed, so you want to make sure that it's not going to come undone in the wash. One more. There we go. Okay, I also don't use my thread cutter when I'm appliquing, because my thread cutter sometimes gets mad at me and gets really jumbled up on the beginnings of these fancy stitches. It doesn't do it on the straight stitch. Snip your threads. I'm bad about this. If I don't snip my threads when I'm quilting or stitching it, they're going to get put in the quilt with all these ugly threads still on the back. There we go. I've got, I think 5 more of these, and then I can start putting the quilt together.